So this is Michaela from Girl Meets World. I am really behind on my blog, and I know that, and I apologize. China has been super busy, and it's really hard to find a time to sit down and actually figure all the things out that I actually want to say. So today's question is, what kind of transportation do you use where you're studying abroad? So for those of you who don't know, I'm studying abroad in Qingdao, China. It is a pretty decent sized city. It has about 8 million people, and it's right on the coast of China, right pretty much across from Korea. It's about a 1 hour plane ride to get to Korea, so we're very close to them. What we use most often day to day here in China as students is we take the bus. It's a really cheap and easy way of transportation. One bus ride is 1 kuai, and 1 kuai equals about 15 cents in America. And it doesn't matter where you're going on the bus. You can go 1 stop or go 15 stops. It'll cost that 1 kuai for that one time. We actually have, instead of having to pay a kuai every time you go on, and this is what 1 kuai looks like, or 1 yuan, it's the same thing. So you can use this, or what we use is, I don't have it in here. What we use is a bus card. So we buy this card, and I think the card itself costs about 30 kuai, 30 yuan, same thing. And then you can put money on it. We put about 50 kuai at a time because, like I said, it only costs 1 kuai to go on the bus, which is really, really cheap. So when you go somewhere and come back, it only costs 2 kuai, which in America is about 30 cents. So it's really, 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 really inexpensive to go by the bus. On the other hand, the buses here are probably some of the worst buses I've ever been on. They are very rickety, and the drivers drive kind of crazy. The first time I was here, the first time that I was here and on a bus, we were driving down the road, and this car just like flies out of nowhere, and the bus had to slam on his brakes, and I like went flying down the bus because I was just standing up and holding onto a handrail. And yeah, it was really scary, but you kind of get used to it. That just kind of happens a lot in China. I haven't seen any wrecks so far, even though there's all kinds of crazy driving going on. But yeah, the buses are very loud and very full of people because it's what most people use to get around the city. But they are very convenient. We have 3 bus stops right out of the main gate of campus, and they go like, one goes this direction, one goes this direction, and one goes like away from the school. And it's pretty easy to get to places. Around 5 o'clock when everybody gets off work, it is so crowded, and you are just shoulder to shoulder. People are shoving to get through you, and it gets kind of crazy, and you can get really frustrated at times, and it's hard to find seats. And especially the bus ride can take, depending on where you're going, it can take up to 30 to 45 minutes, and standing that long on a bus that drives like crazy is really frustrating sometimes. A lot of the times, a lot of the bus drivers, they don't slow down like continuously. They just like slam on their brakes at the stop, so you're constantly like being swung around back and forth, and it's really annoying. But other than those few little things, it's a really easy way to get around. Okay, so the other way we get around in Qingdao is by taxis. The taxis around here are pretty cheap. A lot of the times to get back to the school, it'll only cost like 9 kuai, which 9 kuai is like $1.30 or something like that in US dollars. So taxis again are still pretty cheap, but nothing compared to the 1 kuai that the buses cost. So if we can use the bus, that is what well, as of right now, there is no subway. Apparently, they have been working on the Qingdao subway for several years. And every time they say, hey, it's going to be finished the next year, and then nope, it's going to be finished the next year. So it's been put off for forever. The other thing we do is a lot of us walk. What we tend to do at night, on weekends, or sometimes school days, it depends on how hungry we are and how tired we are. There's a few restaurants that you like walk out, like where our dorm is, there is just a gate that you can like go right out of, and it leads you to this back road. And if you follow this back road around, it takes you to a pretty fun road that has like stores and restaurants and things like that, and it's pretty close. It's probably like a 5 to 10 minute walk. So if we're feeling it, we'll go down there and we'll just walk down there and eat dinner. If we don't do that, we either just go to the restaurants that are like right like 2 seconds away from here. If like I can like look out my dorm window and see the restaurants that are out there, so we'll eat at those a lot. But then also we will take the bus out a few stops and go to like some Korean restaurants and things like that, and then after we're done eating, we'll walk back. It's a nice way to kind of digest our food and see the nightlife and get back to campus. And it doesn't take too long. It probably takes 15 to 20 minutes to walk back. So while I'm talking about transportation, I thought I would also talk about the transportation and the places I visited, especially in Asia. I know a lot of people are worried about traveling to Asia because, you know, they don't speak the language, especially like airports and that kind of thing. I was asking my parents if they would want to come visit me here, and the first thing that came out of their mouths were, will we be able to find our way through even the airport? Which, yes, you will. The first thing that you should know is every place that I have traveled to, let's see, Taiwan, Korea, a ton of places in China, Hong Kong, they all have English. All the signs, like the signs that tell you like where the restrooms are, like which way is like arrivals and departures and check-in and, you know, luggage pickup and all that stuff. English is written everywhere. Do not worry about getting around. You will be able to get around in the airport. There's English everywhere. A lot of the people speak English in the airport. I know like it's a lot of the time it's required that you know English to work in the international airports, obviously, because it's international and people, English is like one of the most common languages, and people, that's how people need to know English. But if you are taking a taxi, you need to write down, find the address and the name of the place that you're going to in Chinese or whatever language that you need it to be in. Other countries, the taxi drivers speak more English, but in Qingdao specifically, I haven't heard one taxi driver being able to speak English. So that's something you should remember if you ever come and visit here. So make sure that you have the addresses of the places written down in Chinese. Systems are harder to figure out because, especially in Qingdao, if the signs like on the road, they're all in Chinese. So and some of them have like the Chinese written in English, like the name of the stop. But if you're looking at like the buses to see like what buses stop where, that's all written in Chinese. So if you are wanting to use the bus, it's while in Qingdao specifically, but you can, I suggest doing this anywhere else if you plan on using the bus too. Look on the computer and find the places you're interested in going and see what buses go to what bus number goes to what place, so that way you know ahead of time. Taxis. In Seoul, South Korea, they have taxis specifically for foreigners. It says on the front like foreigners only can speak English, and like international taxis. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. And also, the taxis that aren't just for foreigners, they have a number on the side. Or no. Okay, the taxis that are like the regular taxis, if you get in and you say, like, it'll say on the side, like, say free translation or something like that to the cab driver, and the cab driver will call this number and you can talk on the phone to these people that will translate into Korean where you want to go, and it's for free. And those are just in the regular taxi. So you have two options for using taxis in Seoul, South Korea. You have the regular ones where they can call a translator, or you have the international ones where they speak English. So remember that if you're ever wanting to visit Korea. Let's move on to subways. Subway systems are absolutely fantastic. They are a wonderful way to get to places. They are so convenient and they are so easy to use. Now I know that some of you look at subway maps and are like, whoa, I cannot do this. This is way too hard. No, it's not true. All you have to do is find the place you are at on the map and find the destination you are going. And you find the shortest route to get there. Now, a lot of the times you'll have to change train stations, but it's not that hard. If you just follow the signs, you will be perfectly fine. Okay, so that's step number 1, is figure out the path that you're going to take. And okay, a lot of places, if you don't get like a lot of like subway places, you can get a card like this and you just beep it and then go. And then when you come out, you beep it again, and it will take the like allotted amount of money off depending on how much time you spent, or like how the distance you traveled, which like places you went. It depends on which subway station you're in. It doesn't work the same everywhere. Okay, so you have that figured out. Now you have to get your ticket. So you can either use a card like this, or you go to like the one-time ticket machine, and all the ticket machines have English on them. You just click English and it'll take you to that. And a lot of the times on the one-time ticket thing, you'll pick where you're at and what destination you're going to, and then you'll pick how many tickets you need, and then you'll put the money in. They'll give you your little swipey card things, and then they'll give you your change. Okay, so that is step number 2. So step number 3 is finding which gate you need to enter through. So you have to find the right gate, because different gates will lead you to different lines. So you'll just look on the signs and you'll find the line that you need to take, and you'll go down there. Now this is critical. When you get down there, there will be two subway trains, okay? One of them will be going one direction and one of them will be going the other direction. And a lot of the times on the thing, it'll say what station you're at, and it'll have an arrow pointing to the station that we'll be going to next. So you need to look on the map and find your destination and see which way your train is going, and see what the next stop towards your destination would be. And that is the bus you need to get on, or the subway bus you need to get on, because if you don't, you'll possibly get on the wrong one and you'll be going the wrong direction, and then you have to get out and find your way again. Okay. The other thing is, when you're getting on the subway, especially in Asia, when you're getting on the subway, you have to be pushy. A lot of the times, especially during rush hour, there will be tons and tons of people. You cannot wait your turn to get on. This is not a single file line where everybody gets on. You have to shove your way in there, or you will not get on it. A lot of the time, there is not room, or there is not time for you to get on. Like, wait for people to get off and wait for people to get on. You have to shove your way onto that train. You have to push through people, and I know that a lot of people don't like doing that, but that is what you have to do, or you will not get on the train. I guarantee you. So some of you are probably worried about transfer stations. Okay, so on the map, it'll always tell you like this is a transfer station, blah, 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 blah. So transfer station just basically means that you get off that subway line and you go to a different subway line. And a lot of the times when you're going places, you'll have to do that because the place that you're at does not go directly to the place you need to be. So you'll just find a lot of the time lines are color coded, so it's pretty easy to figure out where you're going. You just look for the color you're going to. So when you get out, just look at the signs, and a lot of us that time will say like, oh, green line, go this way, red line, go this way, orange line, go this way. And that you just follow that. And a lot of the times you'll be like, am I going the right way? Am I going the right way? But just keep looking at the signs and making sure that you're going towards your destination line that you want to get to. A lot of the times you have to walk quite a bit to get to the other line because obviously it's like away from where this line is. So don't worry about that. But once you get to the next station and you're getting on the bus or the subway bus, whatever, make sure that you're going on the right side. Like, look at the thing, your destination, and figure out which line you need to go on. A lot of the time, most of the time in a station, like I said, there was different gates you can enter through. There's different exits. So there's like, I remember in Korea, there's like 8 exits you could take, and like 1's over here, 2's over here, 3's over here. So you have to make sure to take the correct exit. When you come out of the station, you'll beep your way out to get through the barrier. If you have a card, you just beep it and keep it. A lot of the time, if you have the the one journey card, you like slide it in and they'll take it from you because they'll like reuse them. Okay. A lot of the time you'll slide it in and they'll reuse them. Like I remember in Shanghai, China, you just put it and they take it from you. But in Korea, you have to pay a 50-cent deposit on the one-time journey card. 50 cent US. It's like 500 won. I think that's what Korean money is won. But in Korea, you just beep it, and then you take it back to the machine, stick it in there, and you get your deposit back. But 50 cents, I kept one of mine because I wanted it as a souvenir. Okay, so that is using the subway. So that is the advice and information I have about traveling around and what kind of transportation to take. I have found it to be pretty easy to travel. The only thing that would be difficult to do in Qingdao, as far as I know, is use a taxi if you don't speak Chinese. But the taxi drivers are pretty used to having people who can't speak Chinese here, I'd say, because this is like a more international city. People do come visit here. There's a lot of international students. And so if you just have the places you want to go written in Chinese, then you will be fine. And if they can't do it, or if they like shake their heads at you, whatever, don't get offended. It's probably just they don't know where that place is. Don't worry about it. Just go to the next taxi. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I have loved traveling around. I highly suggest you guys looking into looking into places to travel, because you shouldn't let like the fear of not being able to get around keep you from traveling. It's pretty easy to find your way around places. And if you get lost, I mean, it's just another adventure, right? I've been lost. We've been like, where are we? And we eventually found our way to where we were going. So don't worry about it. I found out that a lot more people in China can speak English than what you think, especially the younger people. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I hope that all of you have the opportunity to travel around and use the transportation and all of this stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.